market is like a platform where you have two parties. The first one is your consumers, and you are being a seller in the market. There are just two parties. Third, we can add supplier whatsoever, but there are two major parties, two main parties in that platform. First are known as consumers, and the other ones are sellers. I mean producers and consumers. Okay. The topic of our conversation is that how market system works. The ideology is same. Ideology is same mean that producer will make product, consumer will utilize this product. If anyone from both of these parties will stop working, what will happen ultimately? The market will not work. Market is basically rely on both of these parties, consumers and the producers. Okay. Now the idea is that how market works basically. Idea is okay. What is the idea is working behind the mind of, or in the mind of the producers, that what kind of product they will produce, then they produce, then consumer will utilize it. Okay. What kind of product they can make it. We already have discussed our three questions. What kind of product, okay, and how we can produce it, to whom we should produce it. Okay, what kind of a product should we utilize? If you go back to the early time, producer just make a product, and you, because you don't have many options, you go and just buy it. But right now in the Google world, in the internet world, you have plenty of options to think about many products. Even you ask the producer to make it, because I need that. Producer in today's world bound because of the multiple options you have, because of the competitions, because of the information already consumer have in their mind. Okay, they are bound. But as we already discussed, we have some economic problems. Producer want to produce everything, but he can't produce anything because of the limited resources in the economic. As we already have discussed, land, labor, capital and enterprise. So he has to produce just by observing what kind of natural resources he has, what kind of economic problem he or she can dealt with it, just to make a, not a perfect, but very close to the perfections of the product which consumer want. How to produce? Utilize the natural resources, those resources which you have. You don't have many, you don't have very spare, you don't have much natural resources, but you have very limited resources, and you have no other options but to bound it, but to utilize all these natural resources. Okay, for whom to produce? Just target your audience. You have to decide what kind of a population you are going to decide, what kind of population you have to target, who will be your consumers, and what is his mind about your product. Okay, what to produce, how to produce. This is basically key resources of allocation or allocation decision. Allocation means that what kind of resources you will allocate while making your product. What is product, or what to produce, how to produce, and to whom for produce. Okay, so market system. If we talk about the market system, Shariz, we will discuss about demand and supply. I mean price mechanism. Remember one thing, Shariz, what is price mechanism? The price mechanism basically mean when you have demand is equal to supply, both are equal. It's mean you are willing to produce, okay, and your customer is willing to consume. Both are in a position that you are okay with the price. On the price you are going to sell your product, and being a consumer, he is willing to afford, or he is in a position to afford your product. Both are at the same position mean price is okay. This is known as price mechanism. Price mechanism where supply and demand is equal. Okay, whenever you will make a graph, okay, the graph will be in a straight line. Straight line, like it will be like where you will interact. Okay, both curve will interact on the point. This point is known as price mechanism, mean price and the demand is equal. Okay, how to produce? You have to produce, or you have to utilize those resources which are more beneficial for you. And for whom to produce? Those who can afford it. Mixed system, as we already discussed, demand, supply, and you have to include the government. How to produce? Of course, again, you have to utilize, you have to opt for those ways which are more beneficial for you. And for whom? Again, those who can afford it. If you remember, we already discussed about the planned system. Okay, how to produce? The government. How to produce? Ensure that everyone has a job, everyone has an employment system. And for whom to produce? Everyone who comes under the area or under the boundary of your system. Okay, so that was a simple topic about Shari's market and allocation of the resources, and we have discussed a very small idea among both of these slides. In between these two slides is price mechanism. Price mechanism